Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's lesson, we are going to be working on 3 important topics. First, I will show you how to validate your code. Next, links and anchor element. And finally, we would go straight to the basic elements in HTML, so let's get started. So on your home page, create a new folder and name it. I am going to leave mine as new folder, so we pick folder and drop it on VS Code. That's a quick trick to open a folder on VS Code. Next, create a new file by clicking on the new file icon. I will name mine hh.html. You can give yours any name, just don't forget to put .html. Next, put your left-angled bracket, then click enter to select doctype HTML. Next is an HTML element. Then other element follows. So type head, followed by our title element. You can put any title of your choice. I will use Bob's work. So now inside our body element, we would put in h1 element. Inside the h1 element will be our first information that will appear in our browser. Before we continue, this is Skill Acquisition Center Jigbo, where you can come and learn a skill. We have a physical building in Lagos where you can learn different skills and be certified in those skills for free. If you are a beginner or you are viewing this channel for the first time, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any of our videos. So back to our lesson. For our title, how to validate your code. Next is a paragraph element. So, step 1 to and 3. Let's add a picture to this code. Open the Explorer panel and click on the 3 dots and select New Folder. I will name mine kk.pics. So next, let's get an image. Okay, I will rename it. Then copy image using Ctrl+C. Back to our pics folder. I will paste the image inside using Ctrl+V. So now, let's input the image. Tab or enter. Our source will be kk.pics/amala.jpg. Save the changes. And right-click, select Upload to Live Server. Okay. So this is how it looks in our browser. Very simple. So next we are going to validate this code. Add a new page to your web browser, then search for validator. Let's pick this validator. Select Validate by Direct Input. So since we are validating by direct input, we will need to copy all the HTML code in this file and paste it in the space provided. So Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, click check. So we have one warning and one error. So for our warning, it says consider adding a lang attribute to the HTML start tag to declare the language of this document. So it is simply telling us to add the language that we are coding with. Without this attribute, web browsers get confused on the particular language used in our code. So we will correct that. For the error, it says bad value kk.pics/amala.jpg for attribute source image. A legal character in path segment. Space is not allowed. So we are going to change the name of our image folder. We will also do the remaining corrections. So back to VS Code, we are going to add the language attribute to the opening tag of the HTML element. So select lang and we put English, which is represented by in. So we would also change our image folder name. So we right-click and select Rename. Don't allow any space in our folder's name. So we do the same for our source and for our out attribute. Out stands for alternative text. We will put in alternative text for our browser to display if the image cannot be displayed, so picture of a mullet. So save the changes, then highlight all and copy. Back to our browser, we would remove the old code and paste the new one. So click on check. So it says document checking complete, no errors or warnings to show, so we are good to go. Perfect. Okay, so that's all for validating our code. Before we launch into the basic tools in HTML, there is something very important I would love to show you, and that is links. Let's generate an HTML template. All these meta elements are also very important. Link for other meta element in the description below. So let's put in h2 element, then we type my project. Also, an image element. Then we insert our image by clicking enter or tab. So inside the body is where we would put our anchor element. So first let's create a new folder. We would name it school. Next we would create a new file inside the school folder. Study.html. So remember, inside the school folder is where we would put study.html. So let's create another HTML template. Exclamation mark, then enter or tab. So for this HTML file, we would go straight to the body and put any random text inside a paragraph element. So we save the changes. So we want to create a link that will make us to jump from this particular page to the second page in the school folder. So inside the HTML folder, in our body, we would put an anchor element, so a, then tab or enter. Inside the href attribute, we would put the name of the folder, which is school. So it automatically suggests the name of the other HTML file, so we select it. So from school folder, enter study.html, that is what you have just done. Next we would put the word that we would see and click on to move to the next page. So, about. School. So when you click on it, you will see this is all about our school. So we save the changes, back to our browser, we click about school at the top and it automatically takes us to the other HTML page, which is the study.html file inside the school folder. So what if I want to go back to my home page or hh.html file from the study.html page? That is very easy. Back to VS Code. So this is our main file, which is the hh.html, and this is the about school link. So to do that, we are going to do something different. We click on study.html file. Then inside the body, we put an anchor element, then enter. So inside the href attribute, we put /, which is a root relative URL. Then select hh.html. Then for our text, we type back. So save changes. Ctrl+S. So we go back to our browser. This is the link in our study.html page, so click on back. And we automatically go back to our hh.html page. So now, let's talk about linking our files together so that they can work together at the same time. So let's create a new file for our CSS, because we can write our HTML and CSS in different files. Then inside the href, we put /style.css. So before we write any CSS style, let's give our image a class. So class, as, then we go to our CSS file and type .as, then a pair of curly brackets. Next, we write our CSS declarations inside the bracket. So let's say we would like to give our image a specific size. We declare our width to 100 pixels. So we save the changes. Then we upload to live server. Back to our page, it is very obvious that the image has gotten smaller. So that is what the link element can do. The CSS is not in the HTML file, but it has effect on the image in the HTML file. So now, we are going to be diving quickly into the basic elements in HTML. So let's create a new folder. I will call this folder class. So let's open VS Code, then click on the Explorer panel. So next we are going to open the folder that we created on our desktop. So inside our class folder, create a new file. I will name this file gg.html. We click on exclamation mark and then press enter. Now let's give our page a title. We will use test as the title. So the first element we need to understand is the head element. The head element represents a collection of metadata for the document. This is where we can find all the meta elements and the title element. Another important element found inside the head element is the link element. We can use this to link files together, like I showed you earlier in the first part of this video. Now let's move to the body element. This is where we can find all other elements. So for our headers, we have H1 to H6. H1 is the largest heading, while H6 is the smallest. So let's give it an information. Let's say, good luck. We will do the same for the rest. So we can copy and paste to make it faster. Okay, sorry, let's remove this link element, then open with live server. So we have H1 greater than H2, greater than H3, greater than H4, greater than H5, greater than H6. Whatever heading you give it, you can always use CSS to manipulate the size. So you are not limited with sizes. Now let's go back to our code. We are moving to the paragraph element, so let's write a short explanatory note. Instead of thinking about what to write, we can create a dummy text by simply typing lorem, followed by the number of words. For example, lorem 50. Then press enter. So this gives us 50 words. Now we save the changes and check it in our web browser. So this is the dummy text. Okay, that was not so interesting or realistic. So let's create a much more realistic project while still highlighting the remaining basic HTML elements. So, in our body, we put in H1 element. I will use my name, Boris. Foods. Then I will put in H2 element for a subheading. I will write local foods. Next, I will follow this with a paragraph element. I will write iBayandagusi. Then I will add another paragraph element. A mala and a waydo. So now let's go to intercontinental dishes. I will go back and change the heading to dishes. So another H2 element and enter. We put intercontinental dishes. Let's also give this a paragraph element, so I will type macaroni and cheese. Next, I press enter and type Chinese fried rice. Now let's check this out. So this looks much better. Local dishes and intercontinental dishes. Next is the ordered list element. So let's check what it says. The OL element represents a list of items where the items have been intentionally ordered, such that changing the order would change the meaning of the document. So in ordered list, items are listed out using numbers or letters. So let's apply the OL element to our project. We will replace our paragraph element with an OL element. Then inside the OL element, we put li. So let's cut macaroni and cheese and paste it inside the first li element. Press Ctrl plus X. Then paste inside li using Ctrl plus V. Next, we put another li element for the second listed item. Then we paste Chinese fried rice inside it. Finally, we repeat the same steps for the local dishes. So remember, we have our local dishes, then inside is our ordered list. We have li, which represents the listed items in the ordered list. So every item in the ordered list will have its own li element. Let's do the same for a mala and a waydo. Now let's go back to our browser. So this is number 1 and number 2 for local dishes. And also number 1 and number 2 for intercontinental dishes. Now let's say we want to emphasize a particular word in our project. To do that, we use the element. So we are going to emphasize local and intercontinental. Inside the H2 element, we put the element, then tab or enter. So we move intercontinental inside the element. Now what the element does is that it represents stress emphasis of its content. Let's see that in action. So we cut and paste using Ctrl plus X and Ctrl plus V. Now let's check our web browser. We can see that local is emphasized in italic. And the same thing applies to intercontinental. So that's it for the element. Now let's move to the strong element. So let's apply it to dishes. The strong element represents strong importance, seriousness, or urgency for its content. So let's cut dishes and paste it inside the strong element. Now, in our browser, the strong element represented dishes as bold. However, there is a small mistake here, so let me quickly correct that. We add a space, save the changes, and go back to our browser. Now everything looks fine. Next, let's talk about the UL element. The UL element is the opposite of the UL element. The UL is used for unordered lists, meaning the items do not follow a specific order. So let's give an example, but before we do that, let's give it a subheading. Let's call it rules. So, the rules will be inside an H2 element. Then the unordered list will contain the set of rules. For the first rule, we type, no payment by transfer is accepted. For the second rule, we add another li element and type, external foods are not accepted. Now let's check this in our browser. We can see that unordered lists are represented with dots, not numbers or alphabets. So let me show you a trick. Let's say we want to represent the angled bracket on a word like body. But we don't want VS Code to think it is an HTML element. First, let's highlight the closing tag. Click on backspace. Then instead of typing the angled brackets that won't show on the browser, we use the and sign, followed by Alt, then enter. Followed by the and sign, then GT, which is the greater than sign. After doing that, we save the changes and go back to our web browser. As we can see, it appears correctly, just like normal text inside an HTML document. Now let's create a new folder for our images. That is where we will put our image, so let's quickly get an image. So I'm going to get an image, then rename it. Next, we copy the image using Ctrl+C and paste it into the images folder using Ctrl+V. So for our source we put pics, /. Then we select foodies.jpg. So for the alt attribute, we write image of food. Then we save the changes. And back to our browser. So this is our image. Now that's for the image element. The next thing I would like to show you is the copyright symbol. So for the copyright symbol, we put and sign, then we type copy, so we just quickly select copy. So back to our browser, we can see the copyright icon is after Boris Foods. So next is our non-breaking space, which is represented by an BSP. So to put this to action, we need to create a short note. So we type lorem, followed by the number of texts we want to type, so lorem 70, then enter or tap. So save the changes, Ctrl+S. I forgot to add our paragraph elements, so let's quickly make that correction. So we save the changes, and we go back to our browser. So now this is our dummy text. So back to our code. Before I show you the non-breaking space, I will show you breaking space. So let's put BR then enter. So this will automatically go under the next line because of the breaking space. So we save changes. Ctrl+S. So let's check our browser. So as you can see, the text automatically went to the next line. So let's go back and remove the breaking space. Back to our browser, so we can see that everything went back to normal. So now let's check out the non-breaking space. So we type our N sign, followed by NVSP. So we save the changes and back to our browser. So the text left here, and came to the next line. So that's the work of the non-breaking space. It does the opposite of breaking space. So the next element we're going to talk about is the last element, which is a very important element. So we type table. Inside the opening tag of our table, we set the border value to 1. Next, inside our tables, we put the table head. Inside the T head we have the TR, which is the table role. Then followed by TH, which is table header. So inside the first table header we type foods. Then we put another table header, and we type sizes. Followed by another table header, and we type price. So we save the changes and back to our browser. So we have the foods, the sizes and the prices. So now, let's move to our table body. So we type tbody and inside the tbody, we put table role. Then inside the table role is where we'll put our table datas for the first role. So under foods, we type U by Andigusi. So we put our second table data. So for the size we put extra large. And the third table data, for the price, I will put 2,500 naira. So we create another table role. Inside the TR, we have table data. Under foods we have amala and a wedu. So, another table data. For the size we put large. The next one is going to be for the price. We put 2,000 naira. So we put another table role. Inside this table data we will put the first intercontinental dish. So we type macaroni and cheese. So for the second table data, we put the size, so let's say extra large. So for the price we put 5,500 naira. Lastly, we type Chinese fried rice. Our size would be large. Then for the price we type 2,000 naira. So Ctrl S to save the changes. Let's check it out. So this is it. Very nice. We have our foods, which includes the local and intercontinental dishes, the sizes of our food, and the prices all together in a table.
Okay, so we have finally gotten to the end of this video. Hope you really enjoyed it. Please kindly hit the subscribe button below your screen to encourage the growth of this channel. The more subscribers we have, the more the encouragement and motivation to post more engaging videos. You can also check out other elements in HTML in the description below. Goodbye, and I will see you next time.